Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon members. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Yeah, so if this is the first time here at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we highly recommend subscribing to stay updated with our latest content. Hit the subscription button above, click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever we at the Jamaica Young Police channel release a video. Remember that this channel is not an entertainment channel. You know, entertainment channels give you a average between 10 to 15 minutes. This is not an entertainment channel, so you have to go elsewhere if you want entertainment. Remember to give this video a thumbs up because you will find it helpful and informative. Please remember to share the video with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, mama, papa, side chick or side man, and tell them to tell a friend about the Jamaica Young Police channel. You can join the Patreon squad. By doing so, you will gain access to exclusive content that cannot be played on YouTube due to various restrictions. To unlock this untapped collection of videos, click the link in the description box below. Joining our Patreon community allows you to explore contents that complies with laws, rules and regulations while avoiding disruption to our channel's functionalities. Douglas Chambers, who was killed by PMP criminal organization members, and it came from the top, and to date the person who have given that order has not been arrested and charged for that murder. So you can go to Patreon and you'll be able to see the face and name of those persons. So thanks for your continued support, and we look forward to providing you with exceptional content. So moving on to today's video. So as you know that we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we know that we have an urgent call to address threats posed by FLA CEO Shane Dallin and Ardley Carter, in which both men that they are number one enemy of the United States of America. And the reason for us saying that is that their attack against members of the security force for the extradition of Christopher Dudoscook is evident based on the government policies and laws that they have passed in Jamaica. You know that whether or not you want to believe it, I know that most people, they laugh when we at the Jamaica Young Police channel say that the Indicom Act, it would be more fitting if they had named the act the Christopher Dudoscook Act. Yes, the reason for saying that is that this act, this law, when Mr. Edward Seaga was the opposition leader in 1994, when the most corrupt prime minister that Jamaica have ever seen, P.J. Patterson, wanted this act to be a part of the Jamaica law, to pass as law in Jamaica. And Edward Seaga told him that no, if this law is passed in Jamaica, we are handing over Jamaica to the criminals. And so said, so done. So what they have done, both political parties, the 63 members after the May 2010 incursion of Tivoli Gardens, and you have to understand, when you have leaders lead. But in Jamaica, we don't have leaders, we have followers. And that's what, that's why we end up with the Tivoli incursion. You understand? Bruce Gordon was there, pussyfooting around with the Americans, defending Christopher Dudos' civil rights, which was that he went about it the wrong way. To show you all these people that they are hypocrites and they do not know what they are for. Because if this man civil rights have been breached by the Jamaican government, the person who signed the MOU with the United States of America, Dr. Peter Phillips, he should be arrested and charged by the government for breaching that rights. But no, instead of going after the person who caused the problem, they try to lobby the international lobby group in Washington, D.C. to lobby the American government not to extradite Christopher to the court, because how they had received the evidence, it was illegal. But how it is, what was promised to Dr. Peter Phillips, and in return he did that. So that the PMP, they had feared Christopher Dudus for many years because of all of the Jamaican criminals that we have ever had. He's the most powerful ever. And I doubt we'll ever see another Christopher Dudus Cook again, because this man is loved by both sides of the aisles, criminals. That's how powerful he is. So whether you like him or don't like him, he's a very powerful man, very influential. People were willing to give away their life for him, and over 100 people have lost their life. And after before he was extradited, Bruce Golding, the former Prime Minister, who wasn't a Labour writer, he was an imposter, and he had signed this act into law. Although Edward Seaga, so you'd say Edward Seaga is a genius, the man that really loved the Jamaican poor people, the man who wanted to see Jamaica become the Singapore, but never lived to see Jamaica to achieve that status. Now we doubt Jamaica will ever achieve that status, unless we have a dictator like a one-party system, where just like Cuba, that's how it would be for Jamaica to attain a Singapore status. But that is unlikely, because the worktivists and the raw mind people, they're I'm telling you, you understand what I'm saying. But yet these are the same people, they are not against. They don't, they are. Remember, China is a communist country, but yet still China have all the rights and everything to trade internationally, unlike Cuba. Yeah, so we are the Jamaica Young Police, and because of the attack by these people, and our members of the security force, we have written a letter to President Joe Biden. So we're going to read it out to you. So, and it's coming from the Jamaica Young Police channel. So it says, "Dear President Biden, I write to you with utmost urgency concerning the actions of individuals within the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, in Jamaica, namely CEO Shane Vladimir Putin Dallin and Adler Lavrov Carter. Their actions carried out with the government full support poses a significant threat to the interests and safety of the United States of America. It is imperative to recognize that Shane Dallin and Adler Carter have consistently demonstrated animosity towards the United States of America, perpetrating actions directly undermine the security and well-being of American citizens and allies living in the United States and are born Jamaicans. Their actions, their position of authority within the FLA has been abused to target and victimize of individuals with ties to the United States, mainly former members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force who have relocated to America. These actions, which include the revocation of firearm license, is based on solely on residency outside of Jamaica, represent a deliberate attack on those who have dedicated their lives to upholding the rule of law and combating transnational crime. Such vindictive behavior not only endangers the lives of these individuals but also undermine the cooperative efforts between Jamaica and the United States in combating criminal activities. Furthermore, it is evident that Shane Tukuman, Vladimir Putin Dallin, and Adler Lavrov Carter's actions are not isolated, but are part of a broader pattern of hostility towards the United States of America. Their position Their position is known that these people are enemies of the United States of America. Yes, both men, they are enemies of the United States of America. And they have provided them with the Jamaican government have provided them with a platform to pursue their anti-American agenda unchecked. For example, there's many police officers who have served in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Some of them were shot and injured on duty, or they were just being targeted for being police officers, and the Jamaican government is revoking their licenses, firearm licenses, because they live in the United States of America. President Biden, I urge you to utilize all available diplomatic channels to address this imminent threat posed by Shane Dallin and Alder Carter. It is essential to hold these individuals accountable for their actions and ensure that the FLA operates according to international norms and standards. Additionally, I call upon you to consider appropriate measures to safeguard the interests of American citizens and allies affected by the FLA's discriminatory practices. The United States of America must first take firm stance against those who seek to undermine our shared values of justice, democracy, and respect for human rights. I write to you with an urgent plea for assistance in addressing a grave injustice occurring in Jamaica, where members of the security forces are facing increasing hostilities and threats from criminal elements embedded within the country's legislative body, the House of Parliament. Jamaica is a unique case, perhaps the only nation where individuals with criminal intentions hold positions of power within the government. These individuals, driven by their self-serving agendas, have launched a relentless campaign of hatred and aggressions against dedicated men and women of the security forces. Their actions are not merely political maneuvers. They directly threaten the safety and well-being of our brave security personnel. These criminal-minded lawmakers are actively seeking to imprison and even incite violence against members of the security forces, demonstrating a blatant disregard for the rule of law and the lives of those sworn to protect the nation. The situation has reached a critical point where our security forces are facing external threats from criminal organization and internal betrayal from those who should be upholding the law. This untenable situation is putting the lives of our officers at risk every day. President Biden, I urge you to use the diplomatic channels available to pressure the Jamaican government to take immediate and decisive actions to protect the lives and rights of our security forces. We cannot allow criminal elements within their government to continue their attacks with impunity. Furthermore, I implore you to work with international partners to support efforts to root out corruption and criminal influences within Jamaica's legislative body. Only by standing together against these forces of darkness can we ensure a safer and more just future for the people of Jamaica. I write to you with a deep concern over the alarming escalation of reprisal against members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force by the Jamaica Labour Party government and the PMP criminal organization. This hostility stems from the resentment towards the extradition of Christopher Dudus-Coke to the United States of America, manifesting in egregious actions that undermine the integrity and safety of our security forces. In response to Mr. Coke's extradition, both the Jamaica Labour Party government and the PNP criminal organization have implemented new arbitrary qualifications for members of the security forces to have a licensed firearm. These unjust requirements demand that officers, secure police officers, pay for a fingerprint record and to obtain a certificate from one of their political activists or supporters for a surfeitic to say that they can use firearm. These police officers have to pay for a fingerprint record in which there's no criminals not supposed to be serving in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. But you know how Jamaica is a criminal's paradise, so that's why they have made this a mandate. So this is another way to pressure the Jamaican police officers. And we have seen where several convicted drug lords in Jamaica receiving licensed firearms, convicted drug rapists like Jacure, and to date we haven't seen anyone within the security apparatus being held to account for these crimes. But yet it's the little police officers who have served and migrated to the United States of America and other countries in North America or in Europe, and this is their way of retaliating against them for leaving the criminal's paradise to seek a better life. This situation is not only unjust, it is a great threat to the safety and security of our nation. By imposing arbitrary requirements and disregarding the professionalism of our security forces, the government and the criminal elements within our society are jeopardizing the effectiveness of law enforcement efforts and putting the lives of our officers at risk. Moreover, these actions send a chilling message to all members of the security forces, undermining moral and eroding trust in the institution meant to protect and serve the people of Jamaica. President Biden, I implore you to use your influence and diplomatic channel to condemn these unjust practices and pressure the Jamaican government to revoke these arbitrary qualifications immediately. Furthermore, I ask you to call for accountability and transparency in all matters related to law enforcement and security in Jamaica. We cannot watch as the rights and dignity of our security forces are trampled upon. We must take a stand against injustice and uphold the principle of fairness, respect, and professionalism within our law enforcement institution. Sir, my name is Christopher Porter, a former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and a United States military veteran. I write to you today as a concerned American citizen and federal employee, appealing for urgent intervention regarding a grave injustice affecting former members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force residing in the United States of America, Canada, and Europe. The Firearm Licensing Authority in Jamaica, under the leadership of CEO Shane Dallin and Chairman Alder Carter, has been systematically targeting and revoking firearm licenses of former Jamaican police officers who have relocated to the United States. This punitive action is solely based on their residency status outside of Jamaica. Such action not only infringe upon the rights of these individuals but also jeopardize their safety and security. Mr. Dallin and Mr. Carter's vindictive agenda stem from their hatred of the United States, mainly due to the cooperation between the Jamaican police force and the American law enforcement agencies in extraditing notorious criminals like Christopher Duduscoke. Their actions represent a covert retaliation against those who have assisted in bringing criminals to justice and upholding the rule of law. Furthermore, it is appalling to witness the preferential treatment given to criminals by law enforcement officers in Jamaica. Political activists with criminal records are granted firearm licenses, while dedicated police officers face unwarranted prosecution and disrespect. The situation is dire, Mr. President. Former members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force are being unfairly targeted, stripped of their means of self-defense and subjected to intimidation tactics by the FLA. This flagrant abuse of power cannot go unchecked. I implore you to use your authority to engage the United States State Department, Homeland Security, FBI, CIA, and DOJ to address this egregious human rights violation. It's imperative that we uphold justice and stand in solidarity with those who have bravely served and uphold the law. Moreover, please consider implementing measures to hold individuals like Mr. Dallin and Mr. Carter accountable for their actions. Their blatant disregard for human rights and disdain for the American citizens cannot be tolerated. In conclusion, Mr. President, I urge you to take decisive actions to protect the rights and safety of former members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force residing in the United States of America. Let us send a clear message that America opposes injustice and support those who uphold the principle of law and order. Thanks for your urgent attention to this matter. Sincerely, Christopher Porter, former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Yeah, so once so you watch, you listen, and you decide. So we'll continue, because these men who are enemies of the United States of America need to be held accountable for violating the rights of American citizens living in the United States of America, and these people keep taking revoking their firearm. So we'll continue the journey. We are here to defend members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force who has been protecting the people of Jamaica by giving their sweat, blood and tears, protection of life and property. But these people have been members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, have been under sustained attack by people who have nefarious intent, and it's deliberate and it's done its malice aforethought, because they are police officers. And these people, they have shown that they are enemies of the United States of America. When I said enemies, I'm talking like Vladimir Putin. Yes man, Mr. Audley Carter and Shane Dallin are sworn enemies of the United States of America. And we want to make sure that justice is done from the United States point of view, so that these people, both men, can face the same economic embargo along with their children and immediate relative for their covert war against the United States of America by attacking the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force due to the arrest of one of the Jamaica Labour Party supporter and activist, Christopher Duduscoke, who was extradited to the United States of America with the help of the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The JLP and make it known to the police officers that their cooperation with the United States of America comes with an hefty price, and the price is to make sure that they leave them unprotected and leave them at the mercies of the criminals. It doesn't matter how many years that these police officers had spent. It doesn't matter how many criminals that they have arrested and charged. It doesn't matter how many times that these police officers have to defend their lives in protection of the fellow citizens in Jamaica. It doesn't matter how many times these police officers were shot in Jamaica. Both men, Mr. Shane Dallin, Mr. Shane Vladimir Putin Dallin, Mr. Audley Lavrov Carter, have been attacking members of the police force sustainingly, and they have been doing it with a vengeance. And we in the diaspora who are serving the Jamaica Constabulary Force and who have given all to the Jamaican people without fear or affection, malice or ill will, we are letting the government know that these people are enemies of the United States of America, and these people and their family, we won't stop until Uncle Sam ban them and their family and repatriate them, let them stay in Jamaica. These people can visit America by virtually use the internet, just as the same way as
Vladimir Putin, who is enemy number one in the world of the United States of America, because he's a dictator and he does not like law and order. So Mr. Shane Dallin, Mr. Shane Vladimir Putin Dallin, and Mr. Audley Lavrash Carter, they are enemies of the United States of America. And these people, if they want to visit America, they should visit America virtually. Now, what has been happening since they have been attacking members of the police force is that they have been revoking their firearms, telling them that they live overseas and they don't need it anymore. The only reason you need a firearm is to protect your life, nothing else. You don't need any property or anything. The only thing that you need, there's nothing more precious on earth than your life. So I wanted to listen to this video of what is happening there with these people, these these people who are sponsors
as
of
more
government
Jamaicans
terrorists
incensed by news of the death of
members
two
of the
Chinese
Jamaican
business owners while
Constabulary
awaiting a gun
Force.
permit goes viral. A retired member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force has furnished the CVM Live with documents detailing his application, delays and subsequent denial of a gun permit, despite what he considers years of quality service protecting the Jamaican people at his family's and his own risk. Serving over 2 decades in different areas of the JCF and some of the grittiest police divisions, being assigned a service pistol to carry out these roles, and to his knowledge with no history of violence, yet denied a gun permit to protect himself and his loved ones after resigning. The source notes during his tenure, he put many criminals before the court, which resulted in some of the most convictions. His track record earned him the ire of many he prevented from carrying out their criminal deeds. But in 2017, when he resigned from the JCF and applied for a gun permit for personal protection, he was met with a denial. Not just that, he waited several years well into 2020 before being told, by way of letter signed by the Director of Application and Certification, he did not establish a need for a firearm license. He wrote to the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, seeking intervention after the years of delays and just before he was denied in 2020. To which a letter allegedly from Dr. Chang bearing what appears to be his signature in May 2021 noted receipt of the former police's request. The letter also notes the application was thereby approved and advised the FLA will contact the applicant regarding same. That was May. By July, the applicant received another letter allegedly signed by Dr. Chang advising that further to the initial letter it was understood no appeal of the denied permit was sought. It therefore advised that the former police should reapply for a gun permit. Many questions were left unanswered, even as the former police admits over the period on a return to Jamaica, he was met by one of the persons he brought to justice who interacted with him cordially, but notes the interaction could have been different if the ex-convict had not been reformed. Nika.
Yes, my viewers and subscribers, so now that you have listened what the reporter has said about the former police officer who have migrated, he has joined the US military, as I have, because he had joined the police force at a very tender age as myself. You understand? I did close to 20 years and he did 20 years. And this was a very hard-working detective. You understand? I am not comparing my experience with his. You understand? Because I had served in the US military during 2 wars. Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom. At the time when I joined the military, a lot of ex-members were saying that if I wasn't afraid of getting killed. And I expressed to them that I have no fear of that because one day we'll all have to die. And the difference is that when you're killed in America, especially in the military or the police force here, the family is treated with the utmost respect. It doesn't take 10 years or 20 years for your dependents to get any form of help or whatever they're entitled to. In America, I'm a member of the armed forces, as you know, as I have, and I'm a veteran. And the member who went down to Jamaica and they deny him his gun license, immediately, they don't have to wait for any coroners to write any death certificate that you die. in the line of duty or whatever, immediately your family receive 400,000 US immediately. The wife or your parent or whoever is a beneficiary. And there's other source from from the military that's different from the insurance that you have to protect yourself and your family. So I had no problem joining the military when I came here, and it was the best thing and the most honorable thing. So what has been happening now in Jamaica to our members, you're looking at the screen, these two men right here. These men are enemies of the United States of America. Shane Vladimir Putin Dalin and Audley Lavrov Carter. They are sworn enemies of the United States of America. And these people have been on a relentless pursuit to make sure that they disarm every current and former police officer of the Jamaica Constabulary Force because of the extradition of Christopher Dudoscope. And the reason for them doing that is that Christopher Dudoscope, all of us know that he was a gangster, mobster. But in Jamaica, those are the people that these people revere. Because if you notice that all the people who in Jamaica have licensed firearms and are known gang members are people who are known to have militias, they don't revoke their license. Because if they revoke these people's license, Mr. Shane Dalin, who is afforded 24/7 security at the expense of the Jamaica taxpayers, in which this is a waste of money. You understand? This man should not be these people should not be enjoying taxpayers' money to be paying security for them and their family. What are these people contribution to Jamaica? And somebody who has served for 20 years, who was there during the 2020 incursion of Tivoli Gardens when some of his colleagues were killed in Mountain View and some were shot in Tivoli Gardens during the incursion of the country by men aligned to Christopher Dudoscope, who is a member of the JLP LGBTQ plus party that is in power right now. Shane Vladimir Putin Dalin and Audley Lavrov Carter. These men are enemies of the United States of America, and these men should not be, and their family should not be allowed to visit the United States because they have been attacking members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force for assisting the FBI and the Department of Justice to gather the necessary intelligence and evidence so that they have a solid case against this man, in which in Jamaica this man was untouchable. The police there could not touch him because he's untouchable. So would you think that the elitists in Jamaica would be happy that this man was extradited and finally is facing justice? No, they're upset because this man is the enforcer in Jamaica. He's more feared. He's the most feared and most loved person in Jamaica. In Jamaica, fear is love, because in Jamaica when somebody fears somebody, that means they love them because you're afraid of them taking their lives. You understand? So this is what these people are there doing to make sure that police officers who have served the Jamaica Constabulary Force can live abroad. And especially, it seems like they have been targeting members of the United States military and members of the New York City Police Department who have migrated to Jamaica because of these people. These are people with impeccable background and character and integrity and credibility and honesty. They have been retaliating against them by taking away their licensed firearms in Jamaica. So they have declared war on the United States of America. So it's for us who's in the diaspora to do the necessary.
So in conclusion, President Biden, I am writing you on behalf of concerned citizens who are deeply troubled by the ongoing discriminatory policies enacted against members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force who have served their corrupt country. Yes, and I say that without any apologies, because only a corrupt criminal organization, government, would attack its members of the security force and persecute them. And that is why we call Jamaica the criminal's paradise in the Caribbean. This discriminatory policies enacted against members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. This injustice is perpetuated by individuals such as Shane Dallin, Ard Carters, and others who are complicit in targeting these honorable individuals due to their assistance in bringing criminals like Christopher Dudescoke to justice in the United States of America. We do believe in fairness, we do believe in the rule of law, and we believe in truth. So these individuals have abused their positions of power within the Jamaican government to advance their agenda, rooted in disdain for cooperation with American law enforcement agencies. Their actions undermine the rule of law and threaten the safety and security of those who have dedicated their lives to serving and protecting their communities. In light of these egregious human rights violations and international norms, we respectfully urge you to take decisive actions by imposing sanctions against Shane Dallin, Ard Carter, and any other individual involved in perpetuating these discriminatory policies. Additionally, we request that the measures be taken to prevent them and their families from visiting the United States of America, holding them accountable for their actions and sending a clear message that such behaviors will not be tolerated. Furthermore, we ask that you continue to support efforts to promote accountability, transparency, and respect for human rights within Jamaica's government's institutions. By taking a firm stand against those who seek to undermine justice and democracy, we can uphold values we hold dear as allies and partners in the global fight against crime and corruption. Thank you for your attention to this urgent matter. We trust in your commitment to justice and human rights and look forward to seeing swift and decisive action to address these grave concerns. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.